Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the National Museum of the American Indian. My name is Melissa Bazzani. I'm the film programmer here, technically, but I'm just helping out in the theater today. I want to thank you all for coming and joining us for our first ever Hopi Festival. We're so excited about it. And I want to thank the Hopi tribe and also the Henry Luce Foundation for helping us bring our 27 delegates here today. This morning, I also want to acknowledge the ancestral landholders and caretakers of the DC area, the Piscataway people. There are two Piscataway nations that are federally recognized, and there's plenty of information about them online if you want to check it out. Also, on our second floor, on the stair landing, there's a small exhibit called A Native Place, and it's about Washington, DC, and the people from the Mid-Atlantic. A lot of people that live here don't know much about Native people of the area, but they're still here, so go learn a little bit about their history. So this morning, our first performance is the Corn Dance, Ka'e, and I have Bruce Talawyma, who's going to explain a little bit about that before the singers and dancers come out. Bruce.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Our first performance will be the Corn Dance. The Corn Dance is a dance that is part of a celebration following all of our harvests. So we celebrate all the things that we harvest because we are fortunate to have that harvest. So for example, the corn is one of the mainstays of Hopi. We use corn for everything. Corn is the first thing that a child, that newborn receives when they're born. That's called their mother. And throughout life, we use corn for all of our prayers, cooking meals. So when we do have a good harvest, we are very, very fortunate. Now, the Hopi has never been a tribe that looks for abundance. So whatever we can get from the ground, whatever we get, whatever harvest we get, that is enough. So we don't look for pickup loads or truckloads of corn that we harvest. If half a pickup load is all we get, we are satisfied, because that is what our spirits gave us, because we do believe and have faith in our spirits. Our farming method is called dry farming. We don't irrigate. And so if you've never been to Hopi, and I'll be doing the history presentation after the dance, but just to give you a little insight on how our land, where we come from and what our land looks like, you can see that in the presentation. So we don't irrigate, it's very dry. So our prayers, this is a form of prayer too for the ceremonies, to pray for rain. So now that we're into the fall season, we're moving towards winter, we are now praying for snow. We want a lot of snow because the snow will provide moisture for the ground. And so when springtime comes, planting time comes, our fields will be moist. And usually that's enough to get our plants to start growing. And then throughout the spring, the summer, we continue to pray for rain. So all these dances are about prayer for rain. And all the words that you hear in the song will mention the rain, the crops, the clouds, and also just being grateful that we have what we have. So please welcome the dancers as they enter the stage. Kwakwai, thank you very much for joining us. Just a quick explanation about the dance. At the end, the singers turned around, and normally in the Hopi village, we're in a plaza where all these dances are performed. So that's a sign when they turn around at the end of the day, towards the evening, they turn around to say that this is our last performance, we're exiting for the final time. So this is the last time we're going to do this dance, but there are other performances we're going to do later on, but they're different dances. So the significance of the corn, as the dancers are holding the corn, they've been blessed, and so people from within, when they're watching the dance, they can come up and they can take that corn because they're appreciating that it's been blessed. They will then take that corn and plant it when that time comes, next go-around in the springtime. And the other thing is that since we only could bring a limited number of people here, normally this dance group will be a huge group. There'll be a lot of dancers in the plaza. And one thing that happens before the dance, so on Friday night, well, even before then, they're practicing almost every other night in the kiva. The kiva is an underground chamber. I'll go into that a little bit in the history that I'm going to be doing in a little while. But those practices are being done, so every dancer has to learn the song, know the song, so where all the movements are, so you're not getting embarrassed if you mess up, because that always happens. But you try to really learn the song, so you're in tune with everybody, even the singers. The same thing goes for them. Sometimes we'll forget the song, and all of a sudden, we just take a pause or whatever. But then Friday night, because usually dances are on Saturday and Sunday, they stay up all night. We call it a commitment, a sacrifice, because this is truly a prayer for Wayne, and we want to do whatever we can to make sure that the spirits hear us. So we're making that commitment. So early in the morning, they'll go into the plaza, come back, then they'll go to the kiva, and then they get dressed, just as you see right now. And that's what starts the day. So these are very, very important ceremonies for all of us, and because it's a prayer for not just Hopi, but all of you in here throughout the universe. As the song, one of the words in the song is unangvasi, which is your heart and soul. We want that all to be good. That's in the song. Prayer for rain, the clouds, the motioning of the clouds. That's the clouds and the rainfall coming down. So there's a lot of time and effort that goes into these dances. So thank you again for joining us.